back to another episode of the Four Downs podcast, where we cover 4 trending topics around the NFL in 20 minutes or less. Joining us today is Alex Boyajian, president of Chaotically Intolerant. Alex, how are you doing today?
I'm good. It's a happy Festivus to anyone who celebrates. Airing of grievances. I have a lot of grievances to air out with my family, so that will be done tonight. Yeah, we want to get away from the what is it? The capitalization. I don't know.
Capitalism?
I can't remember. Capitalistic nature of Christmas, I think, is the reason you get away from go to Festivus. I don't know. But I love
man,
Festivus.
Daddy dropped big
Festivus is
money
awesome.
this year on Christmas. When you got 3 kids and a fiance, it gets a little expensive, especially when one of them is 1.5, and you just everything you see in the story. Like, Alex would love this. He won't. He's a baby. He'll play with it for 30 seconds.
That's when Christmas, like when they still, when they start to believe. That's like the
It's
perfect
the magic,
age.
baby. Got to
That's
bring
when
the
they're
magic.
like human beings that are actually having personalities and stuff. This is the first year of the magic. So congratulations.
He loves cars. He's a car and animal baby right now. So that's gonna be. I'm gonna be stepping on a lot of Hot Wheels cars here for the next few months. So preparing for that. And just a forewarning, if my voice seems a little off today, I am filming this directly after getting some dental work done. So everything here, I don't really feel anything right now. So if I stumble over a few words, please forgive me for that. Fans of Four Downs. Now, we are filming today on a Monday afternoon. Our schedule got thrown off a little bit. We're trying to cover a lot of different topics, try to mix things up. So this will be posting just before Monday Night Football. We will have other topics talking about playoff predictions, Christmas Day games. So if you are watching this after Monday Night Football, keep in mind that there are still some relevant topics in this podcast. Alex, do you want to tag the Christmas Day games and the games that matter for playoffs on the video?
Yes, I will. I will put in the Christmas Day games.
All right, perfect. Thank you. All right, and with that, let's move into our first topic, which will be the scores from Saturday and Sunday. So we'll start off with our Saturday games, which I'm not a fan of, directly competing with the college football playoff. If you follow me on
playoff
threads,
sucked. Hold on.
It
college
did
football
suck.
playoff was
in
awful.
fairness, it did suck. But this upcoming Saturday, when we have some good college football playoff games and we're trying to stack NFL on top of it, I am not a fan of that. Just give us our Thursday, Sunday, and Monday. That is more than enough. However, I did tune in.
It was a bad day. It was a bad day for college football is better than the NFL people. It was a really bad day because if that's those are your first round playoff, like that's, I mean, the closest game we had was what? Clemson, Texas, and that was like a backdoor cover.
Yeah.
Indiana, Notre Dame was actually closer. It was a 10-point game, but even that was a late touchdown from Indiana and they had to get an onside kick. So it was really like 27-3 near the end of the
both bad
game.
Teams. Both bad
or 27-7,
teams.
something like that. Not good.
I tuned into Chiefs Texans. Chiefs beat the Texans 27-19. Unfortunately for the Texans, it appears Tank Dell is out for the season. And if it is as bad as it looked, a solid chunk of next season as well. Very unfortunate for a great young player. The Ravens manhandle the Steelers 34-17.
On Chiefs Texans, Patrick Mahomes ankle perfectly fine.
There's nothing wrong with his ankle.
Smoke screen, a little bit of a smoke screen or something like that. I think he just knew. He was like, I'm going to fake an injury just to like fake the Texans out. And the Chiefs are a win away from number 1 seed.
And we're going to get it. Ravens come tied with the Steelers in the division. Rams beat the Jets 19-9, despite Aaron Rodgers doing a beautiful little dance on his 1 touchdown thrown in that game.
Steelers, Ravens. I feel like this was like suddenly the AFC North is just tied. Steelers have lost 2 in a row. That just, it came up very quickly, and now it's going to be a dogfight down the stretch. And then Rams, Jets, just hilarious, absolutely hilarious. And the Rams, I don't want the Jets' embarrassment to overshadow the Rams just being able to grind out a win like that. Like that's. Is that 2 straight grinded out wins that they've won?
And 4 in a row or something. 4 or 5 in a row now. I've lost track because they just keep winning
4.
games. 4 in a
They've
row.
won 8 of their last 10.
They can't lose. They're unbeatable. They're the greatest football team of all time.
8, yeah, 8 of their last 10. Last 2 were 12-6 and 19-9. So
Good for them.
good
I'm
football
proud of them.
teams win like that.
Commanders take down the Eagles, the mighty Eagles, 36-33 behind an outstanding catch from Terry McLaurin. I don't know if anybody saw that. I am rocking a Terry McLaurin jersey, much to the dismay of my Chiefs fandom. If you guys are out there, it's just a fantasy football thing. I'm not changing alliances.
The sky is not falling in Philly. I do want to say that. Like, it's not falling. Fine. I don't think there's anyone really thinking that, but I'm sure there's pundits out there saying that, trying to make the public think that it's falling. It's not falling. You lose Jalen Hurts. You were up. They already went up early, so I wouldn't worry too much. It's if fine. They struggle next week. Who do they have next week, actually? But if they struggle next week, then maybe. But Jalen Hurts seeming like he'll be
still
fine.
Win the NFC. They're still going to win the NFC.
And then the Giants.
They're fine. All right, with 1:13 left, I'm going to rattle through a few of these here. Falcons crushed the Giants to nobody's surprise. The Falcons have now taken control with the tiebreaker of the division. Cardinals, Panthers. Panthers eliminate the Cardinals from playoff contention for, I believe, the 8th straight year. Bengals.
Chuba.
What was that?
Chuba Hubbard, man. Fucking awesome.
He's the
Great
GOAT.
Story.
The Bengals 24-6 over the Browns. Colts take down the Titans. Congratulations. Bears, once again, boat race. The Bears. The Lions are outstanding. Vikings take down the Seahawks to hold that tie with the Lions. That is going to be interesting down the stretch. Bills pull it out against the Patriots. A little bit of a scare there. Josh Allen had an average day, which to him is like a really bad game if he's like the second best quarterback in the NFL.
I felt the ghost of Tom Brady in the building at about halftime.
It was a little worrying.
It felt a little bit like, oh, is he hanging around? He's going to spoil the Bills, going to clinch it for the Chiefs. But no, Pats couldn't hold on.
Chiefs are going to clinch it for themselves next week. Raiders take down the Jaguars in a game that I don't think most of us knew was even happening.
The mirror, Dolphins, hold on. The Raiders continue the mirror reverse of the Eagles' schedule. Anytime the Eagles win, the Raiders lose. Anytime the Eagles lose, the Raiders win. Eagles lost to the Commanders. Thing? That is a very real thing. Go check it out. Go look. Compare the schedules. They are mirror opposites. It is awesome.
That's incredible. I don't even know where you find information like that. That's why I keep you around. I need you for that.
Thanks to Mike from Draft America.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Mike.
Yeah.
Dolphins 29-17 over the 49ers. And then, as we said earlier, the Cowboys beat the Bucs to put the Falcons in control of the division. Obviously, the Buccaneers can still win that division. The Falcons hold the tiebreaker. I would anticipate the Bucs turning around. It was really just that Rachaad White fumble at the end, when the Bucs were already in field goal position. If Rachaad White had just held on to the ball, Bucs would have won that game. So very unfortunate for Buccaneers fans, but fear not. I still would pick them to win the division. Baker is just a freaking winner. It's what he does. Playmaker Baker.
To be honest,
Baker.
Maybe. When I see that the Dallas Cowboys are on primetime, I have no interest anymore.
No,
they have exhausted me. Like, the NFL has officially, when I see Cowboys primetime game, I make it a point to not watch because I'm just so sick and tired of seeing them.
Hey, Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush draws fans. He keeps the ratings up. He sells tickets. Cooper Rush. Book it. He's getting a max contract this offseason. Just kidding. Yes. That was a joke. And with that, we will move on to our second topic. We now move on to the Christmas Day Netflix Bowl, where the Chiefs are heading to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers, and the Ravens are heading to Houston to take on the Texans. And I was going to start this off with a very stern warning to Netflix, and I'm sure they take what I say into consideration. Please don't fuck this up, because all I wanted was to watch just a little bit of the Jake Paul fight, but between the pausing, buffering, the app crashing on my smart TV, I could not watch any of that game. So if we go into the first quarter of this Chiefs Steelers game and it's buffering and freezing, I'm going to cancel my Netflix subscription and I will just pirate the rest of All American because that is the only reason I keep my subscription. Um, with that, let's talk the 1 o'clock game. Chiefs Steelers. Chiefs win this game. We lock up sole position. We take the bye. In order for the Bills to take the bye, they would have to win out. We would have to lose out. We meaning the Chiefs. Steelers on a bit of a skid. Russell Wilson has looked down the last 2 weeks. They're coming off a heartbreaking loss to the Ravens, which puts the two teams tied in the division. I would anticipate the Chiefs winning this game comfortably. I'm not that scared of the Steelers per se. Our defense has looked down. Chris Jones is a little banged up. Our D-backs a little banged up. We are down to our third string cornerback, Najee Johnson, who has struggled. Trent McDuffie even has struggled against elite wide receivers. I'm interested to see how he handles George Pickens this week. I would put this as something like a 28-24 victory for the Chiefs, covering the spread barely. Alex, what's your take?
I think at this point in the Steelers season, this is a must-win game. Where are we sitting with the line here? Kansas City,
-3.
The Pittsburgh Steelers, Mike Tomlin as a home dog on Christmas Day at 1 o'clock. Oh my God. Mike Tomlin as a home dog. Is he undefeated? Is it like it's Mike Tomlin? It's Mike Tomlin all day. Give me Mike Tomlin as a home dog. I don't care what else happens on the field. Mahomes, I feel like this might be the game we'll see a little bit more of that ankle, like a little bit more of the effect on it. Because I feel like the first week you do it, you come out there, you're excited, you're like, fuck this, I'm going to run right through this pain. That next game where, maybe the adrenaline comes down a little bit more. Again, this is Patrick Mahomes, so this is crazy, like me saying this, but I feel like maybe we'll see a little bit more of an effect. And I really think the Steelers are going to get after him. I think they're going to be sending everybody all day because they know this is a big game. They're underdogs. They feel like they shouldn't be underdogs. I think they're going to put the pressure on Mahomes, and I think that's I feel like you get that to work.
Yeah, because if we win this game, we can rest Mahomes and Kelsey week 18. So I think I really think Mahomes gives it that last push. That would give him a week off week 18 and a week off for the wild card to get that ankle right. I think it'll be close. Chiefs will pull it out at the end.
I think it's Steelers. Steelers close at the end.
We'll see next week when we reconvene on this. Yes. Who was correct? Second game, Ravens Texans. With the minute we have, Texans down Tank Dell. A team that's been a little banged up. Ravens, once again, just like the Steelers, is a must-win game for the Ravens. I see the Ravens just going out and blowing the Texans out. Unfortunately, the Texans are Tank Dell. Maybe it's not their best weapon, but he's a complementary weapon. He is a big play threat. Ravens, I think if they can keep Derrick Henry going, that seems to be the secret sauce. Once Derrick Henry gets going, the Ravens offense is very difficult to stop because Lamar Jackson can just do so much. Whether he's running
20 rushes or more. 20 rushes or more for Derrick Henry. That's the formula.
Yeah. And don't stop running him in the second half like they have tended to do in games they lose. Lamar Jackson has tied his career high for passing touchdowns as well, quietly being one of the better passers in the NFL this season. I think it's just too much for a Texans team that is dealing with coming off of a loss, losing a major piece of their offense.
Another major piece.
And yes, because they are.
Because remember, they're also without Diggs as well. I think we're far away enough. People are kind of forgetting about it. That's been a major piece that they're missing too.
Of their three-headed monster of Tank Dell, Nico Collins, and Stephon Diggs, they're down to just Nico Collins. And when you don't have those other guys around him to take some of the pressure off, you just kind of shut them down, and their running game is not enough to hang with the Ravens in a game that ends up possibly being a shootout or a high scoring game. I just don't think they have enough. So I'm calling the Ravens to cover the spread. So both spreads covered by the favorite on Christmas Day is my call. I'll give you 1 second. What's your pick, Ravens, Texans, and how much?
Yeah, I like Baltimore here. I think you're coming off a big win against the Steelers. You know you got to keep pace with them. You also know they're going to be playing the Chiefs right before you, so you get to directly watch that game and see what the hell is going on there. I think they're going to come out ready to fight. And Houston, I mean, they're 9-6. Like they've clinched the division already. The most they can do if they win this game, they'll pull even with Baltimore. Which who knows if Baltimore's even going to win the division if they lose, you'll pull even with Baltimore and you hold the tiebreaker, but Pittsburgh may still retain the first spot in the North. So I don't think you lose much if you lose this game. Seeding wise, I think the Texans are also. It's just the fourth spot is for the AFC South winner. That's just like the reserve spot. You're not getting anything better. So not much to lose. I'm going with the Ravens big time.
Yeah, smart pick. Smart pick. And with that, we will move on to our next topic, which is Monday Night Football. So we did do this a little bit out of order. When the Chiefs are playing on Christmas Day, I just wanted to talk some Chiefs. So we are back to Monday Night Football, where the Packers will take on the Saints. Packers currently at 10-4 with 2 weeks ago, they are mathematically eliminated from winning the division. However, they are half a game above Washington for the wild card spot. So, like you said, Alex, not a must win, but a should win. I thought that was a very good way to describe this. If they lose, they could still make a wild card. Washington would have to sort of fall apart down the stretch. If they win this game, keeps them in the wild card hunt at 10-4. Very, very unfortunate to be in a division with the Lions and the Vikings at 13-2. Even when you put together a fairly good year, 10-4 with Jordan Love being out for a period of time.
This could be a 13-win football team, and they finish in third place in their division, and in the 6th seed, possibly 7th, if well, they would have to lose, but they could still be a 13-win football team in the 6th seed. That's disgusting.
Yeah. A strong offense, a strong defense. I mean, I wouldn't count the Vikings out of slipping into the playoffs and then making a run to the NFC Championship game or even playing for the Super Bowl because their record 10-4, they're a better team than 10-4 right now. Like I said, because they had Jordan Love out for a period of time. They're moving the ball well on offense. They are a top 10 defense. I picked them up for fantasy football this week. Luckily, I'm up by enough that I can bench them just in case. But going against the Saints, I don't see any reason why Green Bay shouldn't just kind of coast to a win here. With a little bit of a.
Is this the most depressing football game to ever be played? You're eliminated. You're eliminated. You're a dome team. They said Spencer Rattler practiced in a walk-in freezer to prepare for this game this week. You're a dome team. You're down. You're 14.5-point dogs. You're going into Green Bay at night in the fucking freezing cold. If anybody on the planet would understand if the Saints just completely laid down and just quit. Do I think they're going to quit? I mean, just completely quit? I don't think so. I hope not. I hope we get a good football game, but
we won't.
This would be the spot for anyone to lay down and die. This would be it right here.
Yeah. I anticipate being on my Xbox playing video games by the end of the first quarter.
There's also no rivalry. There's no real tangible rivalry to this game.
Yeah, the Spencer Rattler, Jordan Love, bad blood runs deep. I made that up just for a line. Maybe I'll clip that. No, the Packers are going to win by 20. And if they don't win by 20, it's because Jordan Love and the starters sit down in the fourth quarter. I don't see any way. And the Saints, very depressing the way they started the season to where they are now. They're 3-5 at home. They completely folded after what they started 3-0 or 2-0.
I think they were like 2-0. Yeah, they
Yeah,
had like
they're no.
I know they had a hot start, and then it was just
Yeah, well, they lost Derek Carr. They lost Rashid
two
Shaheed,
two
Chris
and 0, and then
Olave.
lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight after starting 2-0, and then they won two in a row over the Falcons and Browns, and then they've lost two of their last three to the Rams, Giants, and Commanders. Or they beat the
Yeah,
Giants.
well, that proves my hypothesis. I've always said if you lose your entire offensive team, all of your skilled players in one season, you struggle. And I mean, I think that's a controversial take, but without every single skill player they relied on, they have struggled. No quarterback, your two best receivers. They've had running back injuries. Kamara's out this week, I believe, correct?
Let's look it up. I think
I
so.
believe because I have, I don't have any of them on my fantasy team, so I have not
Injury
been paying
updates.
attention. Injury updates for Saints running back. He is out. He has not practiced at all this week. So your four
Yeah, why
best
would he want to
offensive
come
players,
back? Honestly,
yeah,
this
just
team
rest it,
sucks.
dude. If you've got a lingering injury like a groin, just sit down for the rest of the year, bro. We're good. You're good.
Yeah,
We understand.
yeah.
Um, I think that's all we can say on
Hey, we did 5 minutes on it.
Saints.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much more you can say.
Yeah.
With that, we will move on to our fourth and final topic. Our last topic is going to be looking ahead to week 17 and the games that matter most for the playoffs because as we get in down to the last 2 weeks of the season, the playoff picture is shaping up.
This
However, there
slate
are still,
stinks. I'm
yeah,
gonna say it for you. This slate stinks. It is
yeah.
so bad.
Week 18 is loaded. Week 18 is loaded. So, in fairness,
Oh, it better
um,
be. Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of good games week 18 that are going to really matter, which normally the last week of the season, you kind of figured it out. Teams are starting to talk about resting players. There are a lot of enormous games week 18. So tune in next episode because we will be covering those. Um, your pick for the Saturday game was the Rams taking on the Cardinals at home. The Rams are a 5.5 point favorite as it stands. They are a game ahead of Seattle. So this game could, in effect, really put it away for the Rams, who are 9-6. Um, they have been just red hot down the stretch here, winning 4 in a row, like we said earlier. However, I would be a little worried if I were a Rams fan because the Cardinals, while they are eliminated from the playoffs, they could still put together a winning season. They're 7-8 right now, sort of a moral victory by being the Rams and a chance to kind of play spoiler. I will still take the Rams in another close one. Their third
Their last
consecutive close win.
their last matchup, which was in LA, or I'm sorry, which was in Arizona. Rams 10, Cardinals 41. 41-10 blowout in week 2. Now, this was a very different Rams team a long time ago. So,
Yeah.
I think this is listen, this feels like a Cardinals spot all day. Feels like
Yeah.
a yummy Cardinals spot. At least put it on like +5.5 Arizona because the
Yeah.
Cardinals just absolutely that's what they've been doing all year. They've been hanging around, they've been there, and then they lose one, they lose a really tough one to Carolina. You just feel like they're going to come out and be ready to fucking go. They're going to come
Yeah.
out and just put the gas, light the gas on fire, light the gas can on fire and throw it into SoFi.
Yeah.
I like the Cardinals at least +5.5, if not money line.
No, I like the Rams to win the game, but I think you're right on Arizona covering. I think it's going to be a 2 or 3 point game, with huge playoff implications. Um, as does Packers visiting the Vikings, a 10-4 Packers team going into Minnesota to face the 13-2 Vikings. Obviously, the Packers will either be 11-4 or 10-5 as they play tonight. the Vikings look unstoppable lately. Sam Darnold has looked like a true franchise quarterback. Jordan Addison has come on in a big way. He's been a touchdown machine recently, and that takes so much off of Justin Jefferson. Teams are double, triple teaming Jefferson all the time. If you can force them to go from triple teaming and double teaming him to very occasionally trying to take him one-on-one to give some help to whoever's on Jordan Addison, I can see Justin Jefferson having a massive game against Green Bay, even though Green Bay has a top 10 defense. I would take Minnesota very, very comfortably to cover a 1.5 point spread. Where do you stand on that one?
Yeah, that seems a little close, man. This is in Minnesota. It's at US Bank Stadium. People are yeah. I don't know where to go here. This is a tough one to swing.
Disagree with me.
Disagree with you?
Yeah.
Why don't I go with the Packers? Yeah.
All right.
This feels like one they got. I mean, you got to take this one. You don't want to let the Commanders catch up to you.
Yeah.
Minnesota, obviously, they want to be able to play for something in Week 18. I think they still can. Actually, no. I think if they lose, they will not be playing for anything because their division record.
They would have a wild card spot locked up, and the Lions would win.
Yeah, it just feels like that Minnesota spot, that Vikings letdown spot, especially against the Packers, like that history there. Yeah, give me the Packers. I'm selling myself on the Packers just based on the history.
And with that, we are out of time. The only other game I think that matters at all, and I'll just 5 seconds here, is Falcons Commanders. Falcons beat the Commanders. They can effectively lock up the division. Commanders beat the Falcons. That keeps them in wild card contention. I would take Washington in this one at home. They're a 4-point spread. Alex, pick against the spread and straight up. What do you think?
Well, if we get a Tampa win, things will still matter in Week 18. Tampa sees the Carolina Panthers, perfect spoiler opportunity. Take Carolina +8. But I don't trust the Falcons. I don't care what you did against the Giants. No one cares what you did against the Giants. Penix, I'm excited to see a test for him, like a true test, basically, like, you got to consider this a playoff game at this point, right? I think these games down the stretch, these are must win. You're dying on every breath. So, but Jaden Daniels, man, you got to cap off a good year. This is the one to really cap off a good year. I think. Can they clinch if they win? Am I crazy that they can clinch if they win? I think I might be.
No, because if they hold
a 2-game lead,
Vikings. Yeah, but
they hold a 2-game lead on Tampa right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right. No, so if they win, that's it.
If they win, they clinch. So I'm rolling with the Commanders. This game, I like them here.
Yeah. All right, that should do it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Follow on Threads, follow on Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky. I'm on as well. Check out the chaotically intolerant family of podcasts, Draft America, and then the flagship Chaotically Intolerant podcast. As always, tune in next week. We'll be talking Week 18, looking over the Week 17 games, playoff implications. I would also like to start doing some picks for MVPs, Offensive Player of the Year, so on and so forth next week. So with that, we'll see you next time.
See you guys.